Using a Biga, or any other preferment for that matter, is a great way to improve the flavor and aroma of your dough while reducing the overall fermentation time of said dough. And a preferment can do this while using less yeast. A Biga preferment is traditionally very low in hydration, and I'm going to show you how to make some pizza dough using one in this video. First, let me take a few minutes to talk to you about the oven that I'm using today. It's called the Pizzello Forte oven, and it's probably the most economically priced pizza oven that I've featured on this channel. That's right, the gas oven lists for about $250 on Amazon. The wood and pellet version's even cheaper. It comes in around $165. And each one's bundled with a peel and a cover, so this is a really good price for sure. Let me quickly walk you through the assembly and the preheat, then we'll talk pizza dough. Okay, I've got all the pieces laid out here, and I'm gonna start by installing this deflector shield. Okay, let's see. One side, need another screw. There we go. Okay, just gotta tighten those down. Okay, that's good and tight. All right, there we go. Next, I'm gonna add this hanger to the burner unit using 3 screws. One. Okay, that's good, nice and tight. There. All right, I rotated the oven sideways so you could get a better view of this. I'm just gonna hang the burner off the back here on these 2 bolts. And then just get these nice and snug. There we go. Burner is attached. All right, now the chimney just is like a pressure fit here. You just push it on like that. And the cap, just spin until it's snug, just like that. Perfect. We'll strip these screws out by going in at an angle. Here, this one might be better. There. Good. And next, we just slide the stone in. That looks good. And the door. Just like that. You even have a little peephole. All right, the propane port is off the rear of the burner here, so I need to move my table out a little bit here to get this attached. Yeah, this is kind of a pain. Okay, get that nice and get a wrench. Actually, give you a wrench right here, and make sure it's nice and snug. There, that's good. Forgot about one thing. I need to put the handle on the hopper. Good. Yeah, hold on a second. I actually forgot one more thing. And I've never seen this in a pizza oven, but right here, this is a battery. And I already put one in there. Just want to show you guys. Takes a AA battery for the starter, the automatic starter. So you got to make sure to do that before you try to fire this oven up like I just did. There. All right, let's fire this bad boy up. Nice. All right. Pizzello says to burn this oven in for about 45 minutes before baking it, so that's what I'm gonna do. So this is a good time to actually talk to you guys about the 45% hydration Biga dough that I'm gonna use in this video. Quick tip here, mix the Biga about 12 hours before you plan to mix the final dough. Take 252 grams of 00 flour and add a 1/4 teaspoon of instant dry yeast. Next, pour in 113 grams of room temp water. Use your hands and take a few minutes to carefully mix the ingredients together until you have a shaggy looking preferment. You're gonna have some loose flour left in the bowl, and that's totally fine. Your preferment just needs to look like what you see in this video. Transfer the Biga to a container with a lid. Cover it up and let it ferment at room temp for about 12 to 14 hours.
I typically do this the night before so the Biga can ferment overnight. After it's been fermenting for that extended period of time, the Biga should smell ripe and slightly alcoholic. To make the final dough, combine the Biga with an additional 290 grams of room temp water. Swish it around and break up the Biga so it's not so stiff and dry. Then add 378 grams of 00 flour and 17 grams of sea salt. Mix the dough until you have an evenly hydrated, cohesive mass, and you can do this by hand or using a mixer like I'm doing in this video. It doesn't really matter. Continue kneading it for 5 minutes until it starts to feel smooth and silky in texture. Then turn the dough out onto a counter and place a bowl over it. Let it rest for about 10 minutes. Take the dough and knead it for another minute or two, or slap it on the counter like I'm doing here. The dough should feel even smoother and silkier at this point. If it doesn't, let it rest for another 10 minutes, knead it a little bit more. Then you're going to form it into a ball like I'm doing here and place it in a lightly greased bowl and cover it with some plastic film or some sort of mixing bowl cover. Let the dough rest again for another hour or possibly 2 until it's slightly risen but not doubled. And at this point, it's time to portion the dough. Turn it out onto the counter and divide it into 4 250-ish gram portions. Definitely use a scale to make sure each piece is equal in weight. Shape each piece of portioned dough into a small ball and then place them into individually oiled containers. Cover them up and let them rest at room temp until the dough balls have doubled in size. Alternatively, you can cold ferment the dough in your refrigerator for 24 to 48 hours. Just remember to pull the dough and let it slack out on your counter at room temp for a couple hours before you plan to bake. All right, let's bake some pizza. This is the pizza dough made with Biga. It's been sitting out for about an hour. I'm gonna add a little bench flour so it doesn't stick. Get this out on the table. There we go. Bench flour on top. Press all the gas out to the edge for my outer crust. Dough feels super soft, very plush. I'm just flipping the dough around, working both sides of it. Stretch it. Use my knuckles. This oven's kind of small, so I don't want to go much more than 10 or 11 inches in diameter. This is still pretty small. I think we're just about there. Let's see. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. Looks pretty good. Good personal sized pizza there. So here's that cauliflower crema. This is easy to make. All I did was add 1 pint of heavy cream to a small sauce pot. Then I dropped in 1 garlic clove and a handful of chopped up cauliflower. I placed the pot over a medium flame, dropped in 1 sprig of thyme, hit the pan with a little bit of sea salt, brought everything up to a simmer, and once that cream reduced by 1/3 and the cauliflower got nice and tender, I removed the thyme and blitzed everything with a stick blender until it was relatively smooth. After that, I just transferred the crema to a deli and cooled it off in my fridge. You can tell it's kind of thick, but still spreadable. I'm gonna go too heavy here. And here's a nice even layer. Perfect. Swiss chard. And this was easy to make too. I just added some extra virgin olive oil to a large saute pan over medium-high heat. Once that oil was hot, I added 2 chopped up fillets of brown anchovy. Let the anchovies kind of melt into the oil a little bit, and then I added all of my chopped up and washed Swiss chard. Just stirred everything around to incorporate the anchovies and let that chard wilt a little bit. Then I added up 2 minced garlic cloves. Again, just tossed everything around, let the garlic cook for a little bit. Then I seasoned the chard with some freshly ground black pepper and a little bit of sea salt. And again, I just transferred that chard to a deli and cooled it off in my fridge. Very fragrant. Perfect. Now the fresh mozzarella. Here we go. Okay, that looks good. And then a little parm. This is real Parmigiano Reggiano. It's just been grated at the shop. Get this pizza up on the peel. Get that all straightened out here. That looks good. All right, oven's been preheating for, I don't know, about 45 minutes. Stone temp is about 775. And in goes the pizza. Come on. There we go. Let me put this door back on. And because it's gas, I'm going to keep this peephole open just so there's some airflow in there. And we'll let it bake for, I don't know, 90 seconds or so. Hopefully it'll only take that long. Apologies for all the leaf blowers. Again, it's that time of year. All right, time for the first turn. My God, smell is amazing. Going in again. All right. What do you guys think about that, huh? Not too shabby. Here we go. Check out underneath. Nice bake. Top looks great. Everything's cooked evenly. All right, let's cut into it, huh? All right, let's take a look at the crust. Yeah, it's nice looking. Almost completely forgot the chili oil. Well, it's more like chopped up Calabrian chilies. How about that? You don't want to go too heavy here. Just a little bit. That's good. Moment of truth. Wow. Cauliflower crema, garlic, Swiss chard, anchovies, Calabrian chili oil. Fantastic combination. One of the best pizzas I've made in a long time, hands down. The dough, very easy to work with, has great flavor. I think I'm gonna try this dough again. I do like it. As far as the oven goes, for 250 bucks for this gas version, this little pizza oven turned out a great pizza. Now, I can't speak to the longevity of the oven because I've only had it for about a week, but right off the bat, it's a great bake and it was easy to set up. The two knocks that I have are that propane connections off the back of the burner, which makes it hard to push my table up against the brick wall here. And the corduroy stone seemed a little thin. I haven't measured it to my uni stones, but it seemed a little thin. It still held temp pretty well for one pizza. I don't know what the recovery time is though. Other than that, great little oven. Check it out on Amazon. I'll put some links in the video description box. I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Questions or comments, hit me in the comment section below. Catch you next time.